Hello guys, welcome to the editorial analysis. So in this video, we are going to discuss a very important editorial from Hindustan Times written by Ashish Bharadwaj and Insia Vanavati. So the topic is, it's a disturbing issue, caste-based discrimination inside Indian prison. So the big question here is, it's very simple, but it's very painful also, that is a prison meant for reform or for humiliation, especially in the name of caste? We leave about other things, but here we are going to discuss the discrimination on the basis of caste. Okay. Now the background here, the trigger, that is basically Sukanya Shanta's 2020 investigation. And in 2020, all of you know, that's the COVID period. And the world was discussing about, uneven access to COVID vaccines and all those things. But at that time, a journalist, Sukanya Shanta, published a powerful investigative report. And she has shown that although Article 17 bans untouchability, but caste discrimination is still alive behind prison walls, right? So that's specifically about the untouchability in prison. But I can tell you, Article 17 is banned, but untouchability, if not in a direct sense, but practiced indirectly in many rural areas even now also. And this is a topic which is very important if you're a sociology student. Otherwise also it's important for Indian society, GS1, justice and all these areas, and also for essay, right? So again, constitution related, governance, rights related. So all these are anyway connected, but sociologists or sociology students, it's very important. So again, outside prisons, also when we talk about, yes, constitution operate, but inside the system was behaving like, Manusmriti era hierarchy. So again, if you are a sociologist, then you will understand this. So I'm just discussing this area for mainly sociology students. Louis Dumont's concept of purity and pollution, which is clearly applied in jails. Purity means the higher caste, pure, who are doing the ritual occupation. Pollution means the lower caste, the untouchables, the Dalits, who are out of hierarchy, right, who are the avarnas. They are impure and they are polluted. So sociologist Louis Dumont gave the concept of purity and pollution, and the prison system had silently adopted this idea. Some castes are treated as pure and some are treated as polluted. And I've told you already. And the major shocking part, if you see, work inside jail was not divided by skill. It is divided by caste. For example, again, editorial have clearly mentioned about that. Upper caste prisoners were given cooking work, which is considered more pure. Lower caste, the Dalits were assigned cleaning, sweeping, including the toilet cleaning and all those work. So this is not just unfair labor division. This is institutional untouchability, or thereby institutionalizing untouchability further, despite constitutional ban and everything. So there are some further findings also related to food barracks and segregation. So Sukanya Shanta also reported or found it's there in the investigation report, that upper caste prisoners got better quality food, lower caste prisoners got inferior quality of food. Even barracks were caste divided, one for upper caste and other for lower caste. And the worst detail, if you see, this was not informal practice only, it was written clearly in state prisons manual also. And there are examples, like for example, this West Bengal prison manual explicitly stated sweeping duty would be given only to Mehtar, Harijan and Chandel caste. What does that mean? Discrimination was printed in government rule books for years. Right. Now, there are some colonial rules also that we need to discuss. That's Prison Act 1894 and 1861 Lucknow Jail Report. So this article is discussing about this history also. I hope you have gone to the editorial, so I'm just summarizing it, okay? So the Prison Act 1894. So that's the British era law, right? And British use caste as an administrative tool and not as a social evil to remove or anything. And their logic was very simple. It is basically to control or divide people by caste, rule more easily if you keep that division on the basis of caste, right? And maintain dominance over everyone. And again, when you see Lucknow Jail Report 1861, the report is saying only Brahmin prisoners would bath before eating, and their eating area was fully segregated, and other caste, right? They did not get such kind of access that the Brahmin prisoners get. So Brahmin prisoners might have committed most heinous crimes, and then still they are getting such kind of privileges. So the jail system was caste coded even during British administration and even now also. Right. And this editorial is also explaining denotified tribes, so DNTs, and the criminal tribes legacy also. So British introduced the Criminal Tribes Act in 1875, right? And it declared some tribes are criminal by birth. And after independence, India removed the act, so they are now called as denotified tribe. But the problem still remain. Police and jail mindset is still colonial. Right? Police mindset is colonial, jail mindset is also colonial. So it's about authority, it's about oppression, and it's about control. So prison manual label these tribes as habitual offenders, and harsh punishment even now continues even without a fresh crime also. And basic rights are denied due to the old stigma. No human rights, no fundamental right, no constitutional right, no legal right, no natural justice. Even the basic rights are denied. Okay. Now there is an Ambedkar link also which has been mentioned. Dr. Ambedkar said caste is not just division of labor, it's division of laborers. So jails show this very brutally. It's not just jobs which are being divided. People are being ranked and degraded by birth, right? Again, constitutional violations are also highlighted here. When the court is involved here, they pointed out various violations. Article 15, Article 17, Article 21, right to life with dignity. And Article 15, state cannot discriminate on the basis of caste, but discrimination is gone even in the present manual, I've told you. Article 17, untouchability is abolished, but still it is practiced in real terms, in directly in jails, but indirectly outside also. Article 21, blatant violation, right to life with dignity. Article 23, prohibition of forced labor, began. So that's also there. Then the biggest question is, if constitution is so clear, how did these manuals remain valid for 70 years? And the explanation is also given. There's a plausible deniability, institutional complacency, which means systemic negligence. What's the judicial response? Rajasthan High Court and Supreme Court. Let's discuss both, right? So Rajasthan High Court, the Jodhpur bench took suo motu notice and ordered Rajasthan government change the jail rules within 7 weeks and repeal all the inhuman rules. Court would review after 7 weeks. Now coming to Supreme Court, the matter reached the Supreme Court as Sukanya Shanta versus Union of India 2024. And at that time, the former CJI, D.Y. Chandrachud, and the senior advocates, S. Muralidhar, who was the former CJI of Odisha High Court, and now he is practicing as a senior advocate. So once he retired in 2023, he has been given the senior advocate title, and he is practicing now. So the important concept explained here related to this is a retired High Court judge, Chief Justice, cannot practice in their own High Court or lower than that, subordinate judiciary. So this is related to politics, since I have mentioned CJI of Odisha High Court as Muralidhar. So remember, not in his own High Court, not lower courts, right? But other high courts, he can practice as a senior lawyer, and in Supreme Court also. So Muralidhar practiced in the Supreme Courts, and he highlighted that in 10 states, which include UP, Madhya Pradesh, West Bengal, Punjab, the prison registers had a caste column also. What does that mean? Caste became a fate column, and that's deciding how prisoners are going to be treated during their prison life. And Supreme Court held this practice unconstitutional and ordered all states must change prison manuals, delete the caste column from prison registers, and apply to both under trials and the convicts also. So when you go for under trial prisoner, it is applicable there as well as the convicted prisoners also. So what's the core message here? So prison's purpose is what? It's reform, and it's not humiliation. And if a criminal still face caste segregation inside prison, how will the reform happen? And how will the dignity exist? Where is the right to life? And what is the moral meaning of punishment? So if a tribe is treated criminal by birth, state machinery have failed. And if a caste is written in registers, our collective moral conscience has failed, right? So now what are the administrative challenge, right? A judgment can come, but the implementation that may still face institutional attitude. So the mindset, if you see, ye chalta hai, sab chalta hai, right? That attitude, that mindset, and hidden compliance, slow reform. So the governance reform must go beyond the court orders. So the Supreme Court verdict came late, but it's very crucial. Now the test is, Will states truly change the jail culture, or will caste simply re-enter through informal practice again? So just like what we see outside world. So that is the real battle now: constitution versus the social mindset. And this social mindset, the cultural aspect, that's it. That takes some time, right? It won't change easily because it's about mindset. So that's what I want to discuss. Thank you so much. See you in the next video.